So you got a white, blue, there's a brown, which you're going to believe is red, but it's actually brown, and then a green. You weren't here when I was just talking about that, hon. It's nice to have you back. Oh, it's going to be like that, huh? Yeah, about the size of a quarter in diameter. Now, don't do like one of them triple dip Dairy Queen deals. A quarter. What are you looking at? What is that? That's like a half a loonie in Canada. Yeah, get out, anybody. Get up in there. Here,
Are you from Canada?
No, not yet, but yeah, you never know. I could have been, but I got smuggled across the border.
Oh.
They're about that much.
Oh.
And if that's too much, you can blame me for that. It's going to be great. Now, fortunately, squeezing out the paint is the hardest part of the whole class. So if you've mastered this part, then you're going to do great. Oh, you got to squeeze in there, hon. You got to get up in there like you mean business there, right?
Oh, I still am not doing.
There you go. It's going to be great.
You say so.
That's right.
You have green.
Yep, she's all set.
No, I need more blue.
Oh, yeah, you do need a little bit more blue. You got blue in your hand, hon. Yep, nowhere to go but up here, I tell you.
No, it's not. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 colors?
You've done well. We'll see. You're fine. Just put more out if you need it, hon. You're going to be okay. Yeah. You got enough to get started. Well, good morning. Thank you guys for getting up early. At least it's a great day to do that. It wasn't raining or snowing yet. Snow's coming around the corner, though, you know. Anyways, I'm going to run through the paints and the painting process so you understand what's going to happen. We're all going to paint together. I will show you the colors and stuff, and we'll just kind of go along hand in hand. If you are doing fine, I don't bother you at all. If you have a question or you want to do a technique, you don't understand how to do that, I would be more than happy to help you with that part. Okie dokie? If you have cell phones, you can leave those on. I don't care if they go off. I'd rather, if you got an important phone call, I'd rather you get it now instead of 2 hours from now. Alrighty, so this is acrylic paint. So if you get any on your skin, wash this right off. If you get it in your hair, we can cut that off. You should see me with some scissors. But if you get it on your clothes, it might come out, it might not come out. So be careful with your clothes. So if you have long sleeves, you may want to consider pushing them up just so as you're reaching across to get paint, you're not dipping into your plate. The easels, Oxford bought those. If you don't want to use an easel, that doesn't mean you have to use it, okay? That's going to be up to you. No big deal. We're going to be starting with the larger brush. You want to get that wet, and then you want to towel dry it off so the bristles are just a little damp, not too juicy. And then we'll get into the paints. While you're painting, if you feel like the paint's not covering the canvas very well, don't put the brush back in the water. What you need to do instead is get a little bit more paint on your brush. Okay, doke? And then you'll see that it covers much easier. So the only time you're going to put the brush back in the water is when we clean it out to get new colors. And to do that, you just, is anybody Amish? Wow, none, huh? You just, to clean it out, you just put your brush in your container of water, bounce it off the bottom. That opens the bristles up and helps get the paint out of there. Then remember to towel dry it off, okay? First part of the painting is called underpainting, where we're blocking stuff in. I'll tell you what that's going to end up as. It probably won't look much like it, though, until we go back and put highlights on it. But it's going to be a beautiful thing. Today, we're doing a Halloween painting. I know, it's exciting. It's going to be a spooky, creepy cemetery. You like that, don't you, hon? Oh, I did this just for you. Do I? Only in my mind. All right, so we're going to start with what's furthest away. And that's always at the top of the canvas. This is going to be our sky. So you're going to get blue, and this is going to be a night scene, and a little bit of brown. Stir that up a little bit. And you're just going to work this color from the top all the way across and down to about a third of the way from the bottom. We're going to put a full moon up in there later to help with that creep factor. Woo! Now you're going to notice, and you would think between the two colors of blue and brown, that blue is so much darker that it's going to eat everything up, and actually it's the opposite. The brown has red in it, and red is like a crazy color. So you're going to need much more blue than you will brown. Of course, it depends on your sky, though, too, I suppose. Have you always been left-handed, hon?
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. That doesn't bother me a bit. Amish and left-handed?
They don't believe in Halloween.
Oh, yeah, that's probably right. About a third of the way. Now, if you're dimensionally challenged, how you can figure that out is that 2/3 should be blank. I guess that doesn't really matter, I suppose. It's going to be great.
Oh, I can't wait to see this on TV.
At the, yeah, that'll be the last show they ever show. At the very bottom, you always want to be in the habit of blending out the bottom so you don't have a lot of paint. With acrylics, if you have a lot of thick paint right there, when that dries, it'll form a ridge of paint, and that ridge never goes away. So you always want to soften or blend out the bottom, because we always overlap, and that just makes it easier to do that. But what if it doesn't? Could be red sky at night, sailor's delight deal. Yep. Don't clean out your brush when you're done. All the way across, then bring it down about a third of the way. It's perfect.
It is. I think I went a little far down.
Enough down.
It's beautiful.
Got an ace.
It's going to be great, hon. No, no, I'm teasing. Now, what I failed to mention at the beginning, by the time you're done with this, you're going to walk out of here with a painting that should have a retail value of around $14,000. The key to getting 14 big ones is you got to sell it fast, because this is Halloween. If you're going to wait till January, it might go down to about 10,000. We don't want that, do we? Yeah. Don't clean out your brush when you're done. Oh, it'll get worse, don't worry. Nope, it'll be great. So in our painting today, we have at nighttime scene, we're going to put a full moon in there. Our next step, we'll put some background trees in the cemetery. We're going to have a path going through there. We're going to have an old broken down wooden fence. We're going to have this old gnarly dead tree, and I'll show you how to do that. That one's interesting because it's a series of audio sounds and technique. And when they come together, and then we're going to put a fog going through the cemetery. And if we have time, we'll put a family of penguins picnicking outside the fence. Yeah, that probably won't happen. I wouldn't put money that it's going to be happening. Because if I feel we're going really quick, I'm going to slow this thing down. I don't think I've ever painted a penguin. They're hard to catch. All right, with that color still in your brush, next step, we're going to pop in some trees that are back there, and then we're going to do the underpainting for the ground that's going to be in the cemetery. So with that color still on your brush, you're going to add a little bit more blue and a little bit of green. You're going to stir that up, and then you're going to tap your brush into that, and that's going to push paint up in your bristles and open the bristles up. And you're just going to come up into your sky, turn your brush vertically, and just tap in some tree shapes. This is going to go all the way across. Yep. And then you're going to work that color down to about the halfway point. And other than the tapping of the trees, the rest of it you can just throw that on.
How far does a green go? All the way across?
All the way across. You're mixing that with your dark color of your sky, right?
Mine just lost value.
It lost value? It did?
I lost my tree.
Okay, now you got, that's okay. Now you're going to bring it up higher, though. We want the trees to be a little taller.
Oh,
Okay?
I gotcha.
Yeah. So if your sky is really super duper dark, if you make it more on the green side, you'll see it better against your sky. But you,
Look,
it's perfect.
my trees.
Oh, my
You said
God.
dab it for trees, and then you went
Yeah.
across.
No, you're a crazy girl, aren't you? So you got to go like this and get the trees back in. Then underneath your trees is where we're just going to dab it or kind of paint it in. So we'll just get some tree shapes. Then you kind of go like this
Oh,
and bring it down to about there. Okie dokie.
thank you.
Welcome.
Like this?
It's beautiful. Why don't you get your trees up higher? You should probably get your trees up higher too.
Okay.
So just keep tapping what you're doing, just bring it up.
Okay.
Because we're not going to have any room for your cemetery. It'll be just like one row.
What are we doing? My two, not.
Are you doing the same painting we are, hon?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, you got
I
some of the
like mine
similar.
better, really.
You're a very generous person, aren't you? Yeah. Nope, you're fine. And now you're just going to, you just go like this and bring it down to about there.
Okay.
Just cover the canvas. So again, once you've got some height of trees, the rest of that you can just kind of paint that in. Just kind of.
When you're done, you're about halfway down.
That's right. Yep.
Am I not far enough down?
Yep. So now what you do, you got look at those beautiful trees.
Oh, okay.
It's like you're a
Oh, okay.
landscape.
Oh,
You
gotcha.
just bring it down, look
Okay,
down to there.
okay,
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They're perfect.
Moon go right over here.
Actually, it's going to go on the other side, but you got plenty of room. Don't worry about that. Yep. So when you're done with that, just kind of down to about halfway.
Okay.
Okay. I can't recall a time where I've looked over a classroom and seen such gorgeous trees. Oh God. Well, yeah, I was thinking of yours as I was saying that, hon.
Are you calling them happy little trees?
They're delightful. I don't know how happy they are. All right, so now you did the hard part. Now you just got to go like this.
Oh, you want us to go like
Yeah, and
that?
bring it down to about there. Just kind of fling it in. All righty? So again, that's going to be a combination of some distant trees and then our area for the cemetery. In this particular cemetery, dates back to 1537. As long as you believe everything I tell you, that we'll get along just great. Yeah. When that part's done, you can clean out your brush. Remember at the bottom of that, blend that out so you don't have a lot of paint there, right? Yep.
Is that about, how far are you?
It's perfect. It's almost like you were copying mine. See how you can't tell the two of ours apart?
Oh,
You got to squint your eye though, honey. There you go. It's going to be great. No, it's great, hon. Maybe you like things being really dark.
Sure.
Yep. Well. Okay, the very bottom, blend that out, just kind of like that. So you get rid of all the thicker paint. There you go. Perfect. That's money.
money?
Cha-ching.
It's not too dark that line.
No, we're going to take care of that when we put our fog in there. That'll go away, yeah. So when you're all done, clean out your brush. And then we're going to do the underpainting for our path. Now your water is going to become what we call in the business is funky. Funky water's okay. And as we keep going, it's going to get funkier. But there'll be a point where we got to stop and let things dry, and that's when you'll have a chance to change your water out. Okay? So if you can just kind of put up with it for a while. It's going to be great. All right, so everybody got that part done? Clean brush? All right, so now we're going to put in the path. So in order for that to look like it goes way back, because we want to get a really good sense of distance in our painting, is that it's got to be very narrow way back here, and then as you work your way down, it gets wider and wider. So the widest part of your path has to be at the bottom of the canvas. Okay, does that make sense? So as you're doing this, you want to make horizontal strokes because we want our path to look like it's flat. And how you shape your path is up to you. If you want it to go winding all over the place, you can do that. If you just want to have it simply just kind of come down, whatever you want to do is going to be fine as long as you're making horizontal strokes and that path gets a little bit wider as you come down. Okie doke? Perfect. So you're going to get blue and brown, half and half. And you're going to load your brush so your bristles go back to their original shape. Half and half is fine. You don't have to really blend it really well. Just kind of stir it up a little bit. All right, so you're going to start back here. And I'm not sure if you're going to see this very well. I'll bring this around when I get this kind of going. You'll see it better down here. Don't worry about the edges. If your path gets too wide, especially down in the bottom half, on our next step, we're going to cover up the white and we can always smallenize it. That's right. That's a technical art word. It's best you just take it and don't ask questions. Yeah. So in non-technical terms, that we're just going to reduce it. If it gets kind of whacked out and you make it too big, we'll be able to cover that up and reshape it.
Oh, that was black I was using.
Blue and brown. Yeah, that makes...
I realized this was brown.
Yeah, hon, you're colorblind, I think. I don't know what's going on with you. Yeah, you got to get some blue in there. The blue will make the brown darker. So remember, the narrow part is way back in the back by the trees. The widest part's at the bottom. So when you're all done, an easy way to check is that if you turn your canvas upside down, it should kind of look like a tornado. You know, like the funnel, where it's wider and then it kind of whirls its way down. It's going to be great, hon. What are you doing here?
I'm trying to make it smaller.
You're making it smaller, but you're adding paint.
Yeah, I see.
Well, yeah, wow, that's a different way of thinking about that right there. Here, if you turn your brush this way, you can make thinner strokes. And then as you come down, you can make it wider like that. So if you want to make thin strokes, you want to hold your brush like this. See how thin you can go? Okay, keep getting wider. So you want this to look like it's like this, where it's narrow up here, which is further back, and it gets wider as it comes down. Now remember, in our next step, we can make adjustments to this. And that's good news for some of you. You left-handers, I'll tell you.
Is that okay?
Oh, it's, yeah. See, you weren't here when I was talking about you wanted it to get
I know,
wider.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you got it. No, you're fine. You just got this got to be really wide there,
Oh,
and
okay.
then it narrows up.
work- I'll put that
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
I'm gonna telling my mom she we're done.
That's nice.
Am I the only left-hander here?
Yeah, the other ones don't want to admit it. Yeah. See what I'm saying? That's how you can tell if you did it right. Flip it upside down, and it should look like a tornado kind of a deal. Yeah, it's not like the one from the Wizard of Oz, but it's a different one. When you've got that done, you can clean out your brush. It's all underpainting. Don't worry about it. It's going to be all right. Seriously, it will. I've seen a lot worse ones than yours.
It sure is a nice one.
See, that's to make her feel good. See right there? That's that reverse osmosis deal.
Is this white enough?
Am I married? Wow. Yeah. Let me check with my wife. I was this morning. I don't know what happened. You know, it's been like a few hours, but yeah, as long as it's wider there and then it tapers up. Yeah, exactly. You did it. You did it right. Now, just a matter of how wide you want it to be, but technically you did it exactly right. Nice. It's very shocking, isn't it? Hon, you're still playing in yours, huh? You're a crazy girl.
Crazy for sure.
Yeah. Have you been called crazy before?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I don't want to have to break it to you. As long as you're aware of it, it'll be all right. How are we doing? Oh, my, look at that path.
I know, I'm married, and that's better.
Any ferret would be proud to walk up that path. That'd be great. Nice. All righty. Nice job. When you got your path done, clean out your brush. Well, you can. I'm not sure how that'll taste, but I do know that the blue allegedly does not taste like blueberries. There was a gal years ago that had some blue on her brush, and I don't know why, because lots and lots of people use these brushes all over the place. I go to 11 counties and paint. But she had some blue there, and right about the time I had turned, I saw that, and she went, huh, and stuck it in her mouth because she was, contemplating her painting. And I'm like, and she goes, what? And I said, well, there's a couple things. You got a mouthful of blue, and plus you're sucking on the end of a brush that's been all over the place. So she says, did I get some on my tongue? And she goes, and I said, yes, you did. I says, it tastes like blueberry? And she goes, nothing like it. So if you're thinking about that, don't do it. And she's perfectly fine today. The blues never left her tongue, though. It's like one of those. All right. Now we're going to cover the white of the canvas. This is where, if you felt like your path got too wide, or it got too wide too soon, you can paint over that brown to reduce it. All righty? Blue and green. It's like there's an echo in here, and my voice comes back as a female. Blue and green. So you're going to work this up like this, and again, you can paint over your path on the edges if you feel like you want to make it smaller. Don't worry about how well you paint this, because later on we're going to give this a second coat. So just kind of get this kind of started and covered. Remember, all of this is underpainting, which all it means is that we're putting something and locating it and sizing it and shaping it. And just bring that right up into the bottom of that area that we have for our cemetery. And then you can clean out your brush again. So blue and green go half and half. It doesn't need to be blended well. It doesn't really matter how you apply that on there. And again, if you feel like your path is too wide, on the bottom half of your canvas, this is where you can paint over the edges of your path to make it smaller. Sometimes you're going to like it. You like yours?
I like mine.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I like it a
I
lot.
just over here admiring it. In fact, I'm hoping you go to the bathroom. I'm going to swap paintings out with you really quick. Right now. Yeah. You can't. No. Now, sometimes you'll find you have too much green. Not you. You can just add some more blue to it. But again, remember, it really doesn't matter because we're going to put another layer of this color on this later on. So it doesn't matter if it's too green. It doesn't matter if you didn't paint it well. And you got some areas where it's kind of thin, some areas where there's more green than blue. All of that doesn't matter. It's going to be great. Can you feel the excitement building up?
I am so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be beautiful. Cha-ching. That's money. Cha-ching. Yeah. It's perfect. Now remember, you're not trying to paint this perfect. We'll do it better later. Well, I'm kind of concerned about that myself, especially in yours. Yeah. We're going to, I should have told you, we're going to put like 167 headstones in that cemetery. Awesome. Well, it'll probably be a little bit less than that, probably.
When's this gonna be on TV?
Tonight. There'll probably be a lot of editing, probably be in a month. Yeah. When you've got that done, now remember, this does not have to be perfect, what you're doing right now. We just got to kind of get some color on there. When that's done, clean out your brush. We're going to need to let this dry for a little bit. And if you want to change your water out, go right ahead. If you want to run down the hall, go right ahead. If you want to get some coffee, go right ahead. If you want to go out and play in the playscape, do that after the class. You know. Now you might want to clean your brush out prior to you changing out your water, because a lot of times people will go change their water out, come back with clean water, then clean their brush, and then their water's dirty again. That won't happen here because you guys are advanced.
There shouldn't be any color on the paper, huh?
Well,
I mean, 'cause
there's going to be a little bit, but that's just residual color and it's really thinned down because of the water. So it doesn't have an impact with it. In fact, I don't change my water the whole class. I don't care. But other people, it bothers them, so just clean it whenever you want. I mean, right now we're all going to do it because we're all waiting. But after this, you can just clean that out when you want. So if you've got some nasty water and it's driving you crazy, you can change that whenever you want. Don't wait for me because I'll probably be dozed off anyway.
Hi, my name is W. Ripto. I'm a member of the Addison Township Fire Department. I'm a lieutenant here. I've been here for 13 years. Today, we're going to talk about address signs and having your driveway properly marked and making sure that when there's an emergency, we're going to get there quickly and safely to help you with your emergency. Here are some things that we need to keep in mind when you mark your driveway and/or your mailbox. In some situations, you may have to mark both, your mailbox and your driveway. In situations where your driveway is across the street from your mailbox, or if you have a shared driveway where multiple houses are on your driveway, or if your driveway splits off into 2 or 3 areas, wherever it splits, you might want to have an address sign marking what side to go on, whether it's left or right or straight or however you need to do it. It's going to make our job a lot easier to get to you in that state of emergency. A few other things to keep in mind is you can have your address sign vertically or you can have it displayed horizontally. We highly suggest that you mark both sides of your address so that whenever we're coming from the north or the south or the east or the west, we can see that driveway on both sides. The address signs are $15 a piece. You can call the station at 248-628-5600 and request to have one filled out, or you can come to the station and have one filled out yourself. They're $15 a piece again, and it's definitely a good thing to have for your driveway and for us if we ever need to get there. Thank you very much for your time today. Again, my name is W. Ripto with the Addison Township Fire Department. Thank you and have a good day.